You'll only come out at night to Ruth Chris's, a place he knows that will always treat him right. Watching and waiting for that waiter to tell him it's on the menu. Oh, here Jack comes. Watch out, boys, he'll chew it up. Oh, here Jack comes. He's a pork chop eater. Oh, here Jack comes. Watch out, boys, he'll chew it up. Oh, here Jack comes. He's a pork chop eater.
I would say, Nick, that's your best one yet.
I don't think so, but yeah.
I liked that.
I liked it.
Too shabby.
And that pork chop was excellent, by the way.
Mm-hmm. For everybody out there, it was Jack's anniversary, and he had another pork chop.
Well, I went the first time we'd gone there in like 3 years. And I didn't see it on the menu. And we my wife said, "Can you check our reservations?" I go, "Well, when did you?" Because she booked it the first time, and we can't find it. So I booked it again, and the only time they had was 8:15 or later. But we had a They called me and said, "You have a reservation at 6." I go, 6. I go, "I just booked it." She goes, "Which one do you want?" I go, "Well, let's take the 8:15." So I tried 7. I tried 7:30. I tried 8. So 8:15. We get there. There's us. Literally, there's no one else in the restaurant. A couple groups did show up afterwards. But I'm like going, all right, there's no way that these people booked at 7 o'clock and we're out of here by the time we got here. I don't think they wanted us here. I just don't think so.
I'm curious as to if the pork chop you had is from the same pig that you had
3 years ago. Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
I just, if they didn't want you there in the first place, just imagine the chef's reaction when somebody said, "This fucker out here wants a pork chop."
Actually, she said the chef loves cooking the pork chop.
Oh.
Of course she's going to say that.
She wants a big tip, of course.
Well, I said, I don't see it on the menu. She goes, "Oh, yes, we have the pork chop. We always have the pork chop."
It's because he likes to ash on the pork chop as he's making it.
Well, whatever he did up to it, it was excellent.
Or her.
Always.
I don't know who your chef was. Did you get?
I don't know. I didn't see the chef. I don't know.
The chef didn't come out. Okay, so
he didn't come out and say, "Was your meal satisfactory?" No, he did. The manager did.
Oh,
he only had to go to 2 tables.
Wow.
So it wasn't like
Was it Ruth?
Yes, it was Ruth herself.
Dr. Ruth.
You like the pork chop? Do you like to grab it? You have to found a little pork chop. Make the pork chop very happy. Mm-hmm. But as always a great meal, great service, great. It just. I've never had a bad meal at Ruth Chris.
Did you get the lobster bisque? It's always good.
I got the lobster tail.
Oh, I knew you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the.
So you got lobster tail and pork?
That's what I thought too. That odd combination.
What the fuck?
Hey, it took. And then I got
heard in my life of someone ordering lobster and pork chops.
Well, now you have.
You got the surf and swine.
Do I need to? Do I need to be like everybody else? This is America. I do what I want.
That chef in there is being.
Did you put ketchup on the pork chop?
I did not. No, I did not.
Oh, good.
You don't have, and the closer you get to the bone, the better it is.
That's what.
Yep.
He or she.
I might have said that intentionally, but no, it's just. I couldn't complain. 31 years of marriage, I was happy. So for a day.
Now you got to wait a whole.
And then my wife, every time, she gets the fillet. Every time she goes, "Can I have a bite of your pork chop?" I go, "Sure." Cut it with like a little butter knife because it just slices so easy. She goes, "God, why don't I get the pork chop? Why don't I get the pork chop?" So anyway.
Well, what you should do is get a better steak. The fillet is kind of like the. It's a good cut of meat, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's always the smallest.
Well, it's the tenderloin, yeah.
It's not necessarily the most flavorful.
I was going to get.
It's a good go-to. You're going to get a good steak every time you get a fillet, but like most oftentimes, fillet at a steak restaurant it's like an appetizer to me.
Yeah,
it is really small, but it's what she got was fillet, and it came with 2 lobster tails. It was part of the.
Oh shit! Well, okay.
Then she saved the lobster tail for the next day. I said,
"Did you remember to come home and take a statin immediately?" Just saying.
And then I got the banana cream pie, which I ate the next day.
Wait, she saved the lobster for the next day?
Well, she had 2, and she could only eat 1, so she saved that and the rest of her fillet. I had some pork chop left.
So, how did she prepare that same lobster tail the next day?
I'm curious as well.
I don't know. She wouldn't let me have any, so.
I mean, I can only imagine putting it in some kind of tinfoil with some butter and putting it in the oven, or something. That's the only way
I think that's what she did, but it wasn't. I didn't care because I wasn't getting any. So
it's gonna be tough as shit.
It was like it went into a blender with some
just a lobster puree. Lobster puree. Yes.
Put a little bit of tartar sauce and some butter.
Problem is they give you this bread.
We don't put tartar sauce on lobster tail. What are you, crazy kid?
Yeah.
What are you, nuts? You don't put fucking tartar sauce on a lobster tail. You put nothing but drawn butter, and that's it.
It's a seafood milkshake.
You're fucking crazy.
I have learned not to
horseradish.
I have learned not to touch the plates because their plates they give you are like 500 degrees.
Oh yeah.
Heat lamp.
They always tell you that. Yeah.
That's
the first time I went there, they said, "Don't touch the plate." I said, "Okay." Ah!
Yeah.
We told you not to touch the plate. I go, "I know you did," and all my fingerprints were burned off. And
don't tell me what I can't do.
So the place is empty, though, huh?
It was empty that night. So, but I'm like going, why couldn't we book it like 7:30? But I took a nap. So I was good.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to reason as to why that would be. If it was an empty restaurant, perhaps they don't accept reservations between certain hours.
That could be. It could be. And we valeted our car, and I don't think the guy moved the car. And I tipped him. I'm not.
What day of the week was this?
This was last Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Okay.
So I'm pretty good tipping for valet and stuff like that. So I gave him the tip, and he goes, "Oh, thank you very much. You're welcome." So I came back out. I go, "Here you go." I think that's where I got in the car. I told Sid, I think this is where I parked the car. I don't think he moved it.
Yeah.
I just don't think they were busy, so he didn't have to move it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Crabtree Mall, and that's North Hills Mall. So it's in a shopping mall. So they park, along somewhere in the mall, and it's cold out there. So you're thinking, okay, I'm going to tip the guy. I'm like, not going to be Jay. I'm going to tip the guy, give him money. So
what is cold for you right now?
Right, it's been in the 40s and 50s. I mean, well, it's for us right now. It's cold, but it's getting into the 60s, but it was down to the 30s. It's the wind.
50 degrees? That's where we wear shorts here, kid. It was 50 degrees. What are you talking about?
It's the wind chill. It's cold.
Fucking cold. What are you?
Gosh.
I go to Dunkies in my shorts to get myself an iced coffee when it's 30 degrees out, when it's 20 degrees out, when it's 10 degrees out. And when it's 0, I have it delivered by Uber Eats. I mean, come on.
Speaking of Dunkin', I think you said Dunkin'. I can't understand that Boston accent. Yeah.
The Dunkies.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're selling right now at Dunkin' Donuts a bag of freaking bacon.
So
I saw that.
So my one of my coworkers is actually an old friend of mine from college, and we reunited after he transferred to my store, and his wife, that was her idea. So she works in marketing for Dunkin'. Dunkin' Brands is the overall holding company of Dunkin' Donuts, and they're based locally here. And her idea was to take the bacon that they put on the sweet pepper bacon sandwiches, and just put it in a pouch and sell it. And everyone's like, "Jesus Christ, that's brilliant!" So they started selling. They're selling like crazy.
We want to kill our customers.
People love bacon.
Oh, but that bacon's delicious.
It is good. It is good bacon.
Like the first day I was here in Fort Collins, my boss goes, "Hey, we're going to take you to this barbecue place," and I wasn't sure if it's because they thought this guy's Southern, he'll eat barbecue, but
that's what it was.
I think so. But the appetizer that they got for us for the table,
did the place have a Confederate flag on the outside?
No, it wasn't really. It wasn't like barbecue. It was kind of, But anyway, I think I told you this once before. They got us pint glasses full of bacon, thick cut bacon. It was just packed full in this pint glass full of bacon, and then with a side of maple syrup.
Great.
And so you just take the bacon, dip it in the maple syrup. I was like, oh my God, you're just trying to kill me.
Is that just an appetizer?
That was just the appetizer.
Oh my God.
Did I ever tell you guys a story about the time I went to like a underground speakeasy in New York City?
New York City.
New York City. Paste pecani sauce. No, so I was in New York. This is probably I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. And I was hanging out with Kolke and Rob and a few others. I can't remember who was there.
Scooter.
I can't remember why I was there either. I mean, it may have been for like Comic-Con or something, New York Comic-Con. But Kolke wanted to go to this place. It was like this speakeasy. So you walk up to this door and you go. It wasn't actually a door. You have to walk downstairs like to the side of a building, almost like Cheers style, right? But it was like in the corner next to an alley, and you knock on the door, and like the thing opens up, and you ask to go in. You walk in, and it's an underground bar. I mean, it's definitely not a speakeasy. There's no need for it anymore. But it's legal, and it's just this underground bar, and it's just really cool, like weird, swanky place that has these little alcoves in each of these corners, and in each of these areas, there's a table, and there's games. There's tons of games. It has like Risk, there's Monopoly, there's Connect 4, all this stuff. And then we sat in this corner of the restaurant that had Jenga. Who doesn't love to play Jenga, right? So we sit down, we order a round of drinks, and we start playing this game. It's a Jenga game, but it was drinking Jenga. And what that means is that people just write shit down on the Jenga pieces, and you pop one out, and it's like a dare or a truth or dare type of scenario. So we're playing, and it's like, take a shot, this, that, the other thing. Cool. All right, no problem. I poked one of the Jenga pieces out. I picked it up. Meanwhile, we're in this quiet corner where like there's nobody around us, right? So we're just sitting there playing the game,
Don't get married.
And and I pull this Jenga piece, and I pick it up, and I read it out loud, and it says, "Order chocolate-covered bacon." So I read that out loud. I read it out loud to like, speaking normal level voice, talking to the group of people that are around me. I'm like, order chocolate-covered bacon? And if you guys have ever seen the movie Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler, like the butler pops out of nowhere, like the waiter just like appeared.
Sneaky.
Like just appeared out of fucking thin air. It was like, did you want to order some chocolate covered bacon? And I'm still holding the piece, and I'm just like, yeah, I do. I do want to order chocolate covered bacon. And they brought over the same thing, like a pint glass with these skewers of bacon that were dipped in dark chocolate. And that was one of the best like appetizers I've ever had in my entire life, because you get like the salty and you get the sweet chocolate. Yeah. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, is this real life? I'm in a speakeasy bar in the middle of nowhere.
I'm in heaven.
And then this guy bumps out. I definitely underestimated his sneakiness, because he comes over and he's ready to rock with like a pint glass full of chocolate covered bacon. It was awesome.
Did he rub your feet later though?
He did not.
Maybe have like a mic at your table so they can hear what you're saying.
It makes sense. Like it was eerie. And if Cole can confirm this, if you're listening,
well, we're doing that. We're doing that.
The reunion show.
The reunion show with Media Junkie, aren't we?
Yeah, let's see if we can make that happen. I'll talk
a year later.
It's been longer than a year, I think.
It's funny. I remember having that conversation, and I remember sitting the other direction, hunched over a box, because before I got this desk, I was podcasting in this room after I moved in here, and I had nothing. I think it was literally on a moving box as my computer, and so that was at least a year ago. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a year, because like sometimes every now and then, if I'm not quite sure on a song I'll sing, I'll record it really quick so I can hear myself play it. And where did I keep it? I have it in here somewhere. Because I think it says like for Chris or something. I mean, it's like one of those songs though, but it's like January of. Because I did Waterloo Sunset. Yeah, where it is. January 19th was the day. So it's over a year.
Wow.
So if you want to hear that Media Junkyard crossover, let us know. And then perhaps I'll get those gears moving again. Or reach out to Coke, Rob.
Same thing, though. Like I think I've said this once before, too. Like I was in Riverside, California. No, sorry, Claremont. And I went to a Spanish place where I had bacon-wrapped dates. Same thing, like sweet and the salty. You know, like, that was a very interesting tapas.
I love bacon.
Yeah, everyone loves bacon. Oh my god, yes.
So speaking of bacon food, what do you guys think of this whole coronavirus thing?
Well, I mean, I know that Jack really loves Corona, so it's probably been hardest on him because he's
because I haven't had one because I'm you can't drink it through the mask,
right?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you guys of this potential pandemic or
2.
Existing pandemic?
2.
1 to 10.
You're 2, Nick. Well, yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere, Nick. You're fine.
I'm in the cold mountains. Yeah. No, it's because I hate to say I agree with Trump, but I agree that it's been blown up in the press. I do like that it is getting out there. Like, hey, wash your hands. Remember to stay, healthy, conscious. But I mean, if you think about it, like swine flu that happened in 2009, 2010, like it affected 30,000 people, and I think 1,000 people died. And so, I mean, we've had 5 confirmed deaths now. 6. Okay.
Well, I'm not up to 3
in the States.
It's up 5 since yesterday.
True.
I'm still worried about the killer bees,
and
so
I think what has me concerned and frustrated is that we don't get all of the facts. Look, Trump and the Republicans, Pence, who he put in charge, they all want to control the spin on this because A, they don't want the economy to go bad, and they also don't want to lose the election.
True.
The Chinese, they want to control the narrative because they're a communist country that doesn't want to give us all of the facts as far as who's died, who's actually infected.
What if it's like Walking Dead right now in China?
So
we just don't know.
We just don't know.
Well, I mean, we don't know, and we don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, an article I read today said that this can survive on surfaces a lot longer than most.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and which means would it be better to actually shut down so that nobody is spreading this around and let it actually like stop where the
that's what they're doing. They've done it.
I'm go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's again, I think it's frustrating some of the facts that are coming out and trying to weed through, this, and a lot of new information coming and changing quite rapidly too.
Well, I think politics should be taken out of it completely on both.
Oh yeah,
100%.
It should be screw it. We don't care who wins the election. We don't care who gains traction on this. It should be how do we keep people safe?
But you're forgetting the almighty dollar, and they don't want.
Well, I get that, and be honest with you, I was looking at the stock market. Come on,
you had a good day today.
Good day today.
Did have a good day today. So, but it's like
I think I lost like $700.
You can't shut down for a month. I mean, what do you do? Shut down for a month?
I lost like $15,000 in a day.
You got me beat. Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that there are a lot of people that just live day to day, and they need their checks.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You just can't shut down.
I realize that. Everything. However, if the death rate is at 2%, what they're estimating right now, or higher
of what we know,
right? But think about that. We can all think of 100 people. Now just take away 2 at random. So
we have to keep our eyes on the elderly. So like of the podcast, like Jack would die.
Well, and I think Matt.
Well, the 2 of us would be Matt, right?
Actually, the 40 range it starts to increase.
It does. So, I'm not there yet. I got a couple more months.
You threw.
But still, even
I'm with you though.
Conditions, which I definitely have that. So
Yeah. I mean, they're still, having an autoimmune disease. It's
there's just some common sense, and I know nobody from one side of my family listens to this, so I can kind of throw shade here. But this person travels to China for work. Fair enough. Was in China in January. Immediately got back and visited his 80-year-old mother.
And
I'm like,
that's not smart.
What a dick.
Even if we're just talking about basic traveler germs, not even coronavirus aside.
Does his mom have a lot of money?
I'm not going to go into that.
The will was recently noted republic. So
I'll tell you, Matt, I'm agree with you some of your original points, right? So we're talking about the transparency and truth behind everything. Yeah. It's kind of fucking scary to think about the fact that people's lives are being played with. I mean, granted, people's lives are being played with every day by the government and decisions that are made, but this one is just so blatantly what the fuck? To have people standing in front of a podium saying this is nothing, don't worry about it. To have these pundits on the radio saying that this is we're weaponizing a pandemic to take down Trump. That shit's got to stop, man.
Yeah, it does.
And don't get me wrong, Nick's right too. So Nick's right as well. There's a lot of there's a lot of bullshit that's happening with some of the news media, the left side of the news media, right? So it's definitely getting blown up way out of proportion. But that's not to say that there should still be a magnifying glass on it.
There should be concern, and there should be. They should be doing everything possible to keep people safe.
I will say though, the media blowing it up, quote unquote. Excuse me, just burped. That was gross. Sorry. The media's blowing things up. I think that it's interesting, right? Because when you turn on CNN or you turn on MSNBC, if you dare, if you turn on any of these other news outlets,
you hear quit.
What's that?
Chris Matthews just quit.
Yeah, he's done. But when you think about you turn these news stations on and you hear the correspondents. Now you hear the anchor people; those are the people that are really blowing this shit up. But what's interesting is that even now, if you're listening to a CNN, I've actually got with SiriusXM, I've listened to all the POTUS channel. I listen to CNN, I listen to all these different channels on Sirius when I'm driving to and from work. And what's interesting is that they all bring on professionals. Sanjay Gupta is a good example of it, right? He's a level-headed dude. He's pretty smart when it comes to health and health and risks and so forth and so on. But they're even bringing on all these medical professionals. They're virologists. They're epidemiologists. All these people are coming out who know what the fuck they're talking about. The common thread through all those people is that no, you shouldn't be running for the hills, jumping into your bunker and batting down the hatches and praying with your head between your knees. It's be smart, be prepared, and wash your fucking hands. That's literally the message. Every person who knows what the fuck they're talking about is sharing, regardless of what station you're listening to.
Right. Don't touch your face a lot.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, and again. I'll tell you, as I posted in my political alignment quiz results on the Facebook page, I'm no extremist left or right. I'm not sitting here, swinging from the nuts of CNN or whatever. But I'm fairly in the middle. And fuck, man, I'm scared. I actually am scared. I'm scared enough to be thinking about it.
Yeah. And I think I'm
scared for my grandkids because my grandkids two of them go to daycare and it's a walking journey.
Oh yeah. It's a petri dish.
Anytime you go to daycare, it's a cesspool.
Well, the silver lining to it, Jack, though, is that all the experts have all kind of agreed with this and saying that the kids are actually less susceptible to be carrier. I mean, they might be carriers, but they're less susceptible to having any type of symptoms that are going to be dangerous, deadly, and or even may potentially not even get sick. The problem with the kids is that they're going to bring it to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I was listening to some doctor the other day, like what you're saying, Chris, and she was saying that even if it did get widespread within the U.S., the vast majority of us probably would never even know we had it.
Right.
Said that, any of us that's in like healthy, normal people, they would probably think it was just a cold, or something like that. But, someone who has asthma, people that are older, anyone that has breathing problems, that's what's going to hurt you. Yeah.
Anybody who's got a compromised immune system.
Yeah. Right. And I think that, there's just that aspect.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people, though.
It's a ton of people. That's what scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not concerned.
And we're not talking about 100. We're talking millions.
Right.
If you're talking 2%.
Yeah. Right.
So
I was talking to a couple people, and I know that Amazon, as a company, Amazon has like furloughed all their employees. That nobody can travel unnecessarily for business outside the country. They're moving towards like an online only interview process for people who are trying to get a job at Amazon. What's interesting to see, man, is if this grows any bigger than it is, the social distancing strategy that they've been talking about quite a bit is interesting, and it's actually led me. And this is I finally brought it back to food. I'm bringing it back right now. I've done a little bit of prep work.
Mm-hmm.
I've decided that I'm going to not regret not doing it, and I didn't go crazy. I don't have like a bunker in my basement full of shit, but I did. I went out and I spent a few $100 on food that I can store. Just have there
shelf life of 5 years. Just saying.
What's that?
Most of those have a shelf life of 5 years.
So I bought a bunch of stuff. So I did buy an emergency kit I got a discount on it through work. Spent like $150 on it, and it's 100 servings of food, right? So it comes in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
It has a 25-year shelf life because it's all like dehydrated and freeze dried and stuff. So all you gotta do is just put hot water in there. And what's that?
Any bacon?
Yes, that's what I was saying before.
It's just all bacon.
Absolutely, it has bacon in it. So I got that, and it comes. I haven't gotten it yet. There's like a 3 or 4 week back order on it. So it's like a bucket full of prepared foods that are like dehydrated. So, but yeah, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna do that because like here's the deal: like if shit doesn't happen this year,
right,
we're gonna see some shit at some point.
Well, I mean.
Have you guys seen that Jif commercial? It's like perfect timing. The peanut butter, it's great. Like I'm not sure if it's a boyfriend or just some guy, but like something's happening. I'm not sure what, but like they run down into like a bomb shelter, and the girl gets all the way down the bottom, and she sees like this shelf after shelf of peanut butter, and it's all just generic peanut butter, and she's like, "Is this the only peanut butter you have?" And and then runs out of the bunker because
awesome.
just like you go spend the rest of your life eating like shitty peanut butter.
But I also stocked up on other stuff too, like stuff that like I know I will use even if nothing happens. So like I went and bought like 15 tubs of baby formula, right? Like just to have it, because that would sure suck if like we have like this lockdown in which stores close and I can't get shit for my family, right? Got water, baby formula, like protein bars, canned veggies, all that type of stuff that can just sit there on a shelf and will get used eventually if necessary. Man, I mean, Nick, I don't even know what those are. But haven't seen one of those in ages.
What is it? What is it? Condom?
Condoms are the bigger ones. Yeah.
We went to Costco the other day,
like a dome. Yeah,
and there were you couldn't find paper towels.
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
The hell are paper towels? Well, we found them in another aisle, and we just took them off that shelf. I think people were waiting for us to do it first, but at least there was toilet paper. But there was no paper towels. I go,
oh.
So I'm right there with you, Chris.
Yeah,
so being a Franklin guy that I am.
There you go.
And I'm trying to not. So my wife's kind of in this like denial bubble, like
not just a river in Egypt,
and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I realize you don't really want to hear about this, but it's kind of happening. So So yeah, the other night I'm just going to go to the grocery store and stock up on some things. So she doesn't really know about it, but I feel like if there's ever a time in which we need this food, it can actually stay at my work. And it's just some shelf life food, some extra Gatorade. Because one of the other things they recommend is like, if you do get sick, you also don't want to go out and infect other people.
Sure.
Right.
So you want to have certain things that you would want when you're sick. So like crackers
and Gatorade.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Another thing too is actual cold medicine. Right. So there's going to be a run on cold medicine. So yes. I mean, I didn't go crazy. I bought like 2 to 3 packages of cold and flu medicine for adults and for infants and for kids. Right. So just to have it, like, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but like worst case scenario best worst case scenario, I suppose, is that you have this for some future moment,
right?
And then you just use it then. You know,
right? What would you suggest for like people flying overseas? Should there be some kind of quarantine when they come back, or is it just?
Yeah, there is actually.
Yeah, they're actually it's a thing now.
Yeah,
so
there's a 14-day.
If I were to fly to, because Italy has it now, so if I fly to Italy, come back, I got to be quarantined for 15 days.
14 days.
Yeah, 14 days. No, that makes sense.
So there's someone who is in Providence, right? So just on the road from me, about maybe 30 minutes down the road, there's a school trip to Italy, and he came back with the virus. I think he was a school teacher, and his wife was a school teacher, so they had to close down both the schools that they worked at for I think a day or two to sanitize the entire school. Like, it's crazy shit, man. Like, this is going to pick up. It's not going to get better anytime soon.
Right. It's going to
get worse.
Actually, people were in Washington, right? Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State's fucked. So like that whole scenario is just terrible, right? So like they literally, it's literally spreading like wildfire in a goddamn nursing home.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking terrible.
It's the same nursing home, right? Where people are dying.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was somebody, I forgot where, I think it was in Washington State, someone who left her quarantine and went shopping at a mall.
Huh? How old was she?
I just heard it on the Reddit somewhere.
So she was under quarantine and she left?
She left and went to a goddamn mall.
To be honest with you, she should do jail time.
That should be like an automatic 10 years.
Why didn't she just go to a Trump rally? So I'm not asking anybody to weaponize this. I think it's something that we should all be aware of. I actually had a talk with my students today, and just to kind of be like, all right, like, look, this if this happens, we need to prepare, like, just as a class, as to what's going to happen with this class. So,
did they say no more nudes?
Well, I'm just curious how this came up in context here. You know,
look. We're done with figure drawings, guys. Okay, get your mind off of figure drawing. There's no more figure drawing going on.
I'm trying to keep the panic down.
Sure. But anyway, I mean, it was just
all is well.
Remain calm,
guys. I think we're getting a little worked up about this. We might need to take a couple minutes to cool down. Why don't we just take a quick commercial break?
So I was on jandjack.com/Amazon while you guys were talking and just looking up some cold medicine that you can buy just on that alone. So if you want to,
Eric brought a grinder.
Right.
He did.
That's right. He bought the fucking Death Star. That is so rad.
I mean, his cooking with using the rosemary and thyme. It's going to be great rosemary. Yeah.
I think Eric's
Matt, you bring up a good point, though. We don't have to weaponize it, but we can monetize it for sure. So if you're going to buy some shit to prepare, why don't you do it through our Amazon affiliate link?
Yeah, I'm sure they have They have the kits and everything on there, right? So
they do, yes.
But limit your exposure, and for goodness sake, get some antibacterial.
It would just be nice, like you guys were saying in the beginning, to get the proper news, the proper what's going on. Yeah. I mean, I know we're supposed to have these agencies that are supposed to be working for us, and that's who really should be doing the talking, not political hacks or political leaders.
I don't want to go this route, but I have to bring it up because it just made my blood boil. Today, fucking today, there was a U.S. leader with orange skin who was in front of a podium today, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I've been told that the it's a really fast track for the vaccine, blah blah blah. Look, it could be just 3 or 4 months. Longest term maybe a year, and then
a year,
seconds later, the people who know what the fuck they're talking about cut him off and corrected him live, saying it's possible in 3 to 4 months or even a year to get a potential vaccine that's available, but not a deployable vaccine. Because if we're going to look for a deployable vaccine, we're looking at least 12 to 16, 18 months.
That's what
what I'm saying is I want someone like that, someone has no political agenda, giving me the information. I know that's
the talk.
I get that, and I get that it's politics, and we have to play the game. But again, that's part of what's wrong with this country.
God, he's a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it.
But again,
I was trying to hold it in. I
don't want anybody on any side. I want people that are scientists. I want people that know what they're talking about. I want people that we're going to listen to such and such scientist who's an expert on this. What should we do? How bad could it get? And I always want, I to be honest with you, I'm always the worst case scenario. Give me the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Give me the worst case scenario. Okay, then I can figure out, okay, shit, that's bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, that's not so bad.
I don't know if any of you guys watch Bill Maher on Fridays. I've been watching him for basically since the show started.
I used to,
like 20 years ago or whatever. But, he always has like someone serious, like the first 10, 15 minutes of the show, and he had, I forget what her position was, but she was like a really high up in like the whole health and virus and all that stuff like that. And she was talking about that, how like they don't know enough about it yet, really. Because he was asking about, is it one of those where if you get it, are you immune to it? And she said, we don't even know that. She goes, we don't know yet, if it's one of those, because viruses work in different ways. You could be like a cold, where it constantly evolves. It could be one of those things where like you could get a vaccine, even if we had one in say 3 months time, it might not work because they don't know enough about it at this time.
Yeah. Right. So which is scary. I mean, but that's what I want to know.
Right.
Give me worst case scenario, and then I can make the decision from there.
I think that's where I go back to, for me, the thing that just underscores like being proactive is the mortality rate on this as to what we believe it to be. And if it's higher than that, why not? Try to be as remote as possible during a period of it spreading, because we know that there are people out there that don't know that they have it.
Right.
Yeah. So
you have China says they have 3,000 deaths, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do we believe that?
I think it's probably way more than that.
I would add another 0.
It's sad, but it's.
I think that.
We know our government lies, right? So we know all the governments probably.
Well,
side chat, folks. Side chat gets you every time.
Anyway, so we know. So I don't know. It just it's a scary situation, and like I said, I'm more concerned about my kids and my younger. I mean, I'm 57. I'm old. I don't want to die, but if someone has to die, I'd rather be me than my kids or grandkids.
The weirdly good news is that's the probability is it's not going to be the grandkids.
There, so we got that. So my family has that going for me.
Yeah,
going for us.
Term life rates have gone up pretty consistently over the last few days.
The only question is, do you have coronavirus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Have you ever been to China within the last month?
Yeah. Specifically this area.
I've been asked that question before, though, when I went to the last month of the doctor.
I remember the first job, because I was in China in 2005, and I remember the first job after. I told you that before.
I know.
Yeah, I remember the first job was you worked for the government of China. I'm not a communist. But what?
Commie,
yeah.
Commie bastard.
So speaking of topical things, did you like the SNL John Mulaney sketches?
I did not see it.
I haven't watched SNL in years.
I saw the LaGuardia Airport one. I actually posted on the Patreon.
Well, I saw that. I saw that you posted it, so I was curious.
I thought it was pretty funny because I've been LaGuardia.
I saw the airport sushi. Airport sushi.
I think it's LaGuardia when I went into the bathroom and the stall door basically fell off. I'm like going, New York, richest city in the world.
I liked the parody of the song. I want to live in LaGuardia, or I don't want to go to whatever the.
That was what I posted.
That was really good. It actually stuck with me today. Had that in my head. So, anyway, that just was.
In your head.
I did have something I wanted to talk about. Took my granddaughter, my daughter, and my wife and I went to Cracker Barrel on.
Wow, you both pork chops at Ruth Chris and now Cracker Barrel? You're like a big fan.
Can't go wrong with Cracker Barrel.
Did you play checkers on the rocker chairs?
I did not because it was freezing cold outside. So I said it was cold.
It was 55 degrees. It was freezing.
I lived with wind chill, like 20-something degrees.
Oh,
it was
okay.
cold. It was cold.
Oh,
I said,
that's cute.
if it's just cold, it should be snowing. That's what I always say. But anyway, so we're standing. It's pretty crowded. We're standing in line. And this lady up front, where you make your reservation, she goes, turns around, "Mama, are you coming?" She goes, "If I could get through here, I would be up there." So she's standing behind me. We're in a line. I go, "Oh, sorry." So I even apologize. Turn to my daughter. I go, "I guess we don't know the word excuse me." I mean, it's something I've learned. I think since I was probably able to speak, it was drilled into my head. You say excuse me. To this day, like if I'm walking in front of somebody, like at the grocery store, I go, "Oh, excuse me. I don't expect people to do it back, but I'm going to do it." She had a cane and stuff like that. And she was probably my age. But all she had to do is say, "Excuse me, I need to get up there with my family."
So when you turn around and you cough on her and you say, "Corona."
It just is it because she was older? Was she just never brought up to say excuse me?
No, it's good, Jack. You're not there yet. I mean, you're already kind of a curmudgeon anyway. But like, wait another 10 years, you'll be full blown curmudgeon where zero fucks are given.
I do have that attitude, but not on certain things because I just again it was I would have gotten
because you're still in the sweet spot.
No, I would have been beaten if I didn't say. I was taught right and wrong. You say excuse me, thank you, sorry,
whatever, Jack. I don't believe you, Jack. I think in like give it another 7-8 years, you're gonna be farting out in public.
I'll do that.
You'll be crop dusting and you'll be yeah, it was me. I had ribs last night. Can you smell it? I like it.
But I'll say excuse me.
Nah, I don't think you will.
I just looked at my daughter, was shaking my head, going, "What? Why didn't she just say excuse me? Why did she have to make this big scene?" That we're blocking her way, like we're like the offensive line, keeping her from her destination. I mean, I guess just say, "Excuse me, can I try?"
She wanted her biscuits and cornbread. Damn it!
I feel like you really missed an opportunity to just say, "Well, excuse me."
Again, the worst part was I said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
No, man.
We're just standing in line like you're supposed to do. You had Steve Martin would have been perfect. If I wish I had it on like a thing. Well, excuse. I just irritated. I couldn't wait to talk about this because it just irritated the fuck out of me. I hate rude people. I hate when people are just rude for no reason at all. There's like,
Go ahead.
Anyway.
Go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, sorry, I'm rude. I'm rude. Excuse me. Excuse me. Please, everyone out there, excuse me. Now, just speaking of manners, like I missed this earlier when we were talking about Corona, but we got so into the topic. Because I've been reading all these articles about, Spanish influenza and all these different things. And And I'd said especially when I moved to Los Angeles, I had noticed that a lot of people spit constantly on the sidewalk and out in public. But in the South, that is considered extremely rude. Like the only time people spit is like if they're doing chewing tobacco, and it's usually into a bottle or a cup, and that's it.
It's
but
always fun to look at.
Yeah, it is. But they're not spitting on the ground. You're not stepping in. You're not seeing it. And then I started thinking about, I was reading all these different articles and seeing all these different images of these signs posted saying, influenza spitting is a $500 fine due to, and it started thinking about like, wow, social, behavior was changed in that moment. And I wondered if that's why in the East Coast spitting is so rare, like just out in public all the time, because it's just been ingrained to us for over 100 years not to do that, and what could be the social consequences of this virus. Hopefully it doesn't get big, but if it did, what would change because of it?
In California, they shit and pee.
They do that too. Yeah, I know. It's California. Yeah,
spitting's the least of the problems.
It is the ass end of America. I'm just saying.
Literally, they had some guy just shit in front of someone's business. I saw it on video, some YouTube things. He just goes and just shits right in front of the business, and then pulls up his pants and goes about his thing. And the guy's like going,
"Wasn't you at the hockey rink last time I saw you?"
That might have been. Got to go.
You got to bony this one.
No, so yeah, spitting is bad, but
brown ice. That's my stage name, guys.
Brown ice. Don't it make your brown eyes blue?
I would wear one of those like full body white leotard kind of things with like gold sequins, but just basically in the ass area, like of a brown kind of.
He's going in for his double spiral. Ooh.
Oh shit! I'm reading a breaking news story.
Well, we can tell you're reading something.
We're gonna break our hearts with this because we just made ourselves feel better.
Massachusetts has another confirmed case of a woman in her 20s in Norfolk County.
Wow, in her 20s. Wow.
That is the county in which I reside.
All right, order some more supplies.
I'm really so glad that we just podcast together.
I think I'm coming down something already. I'm over here itching. I don't know. Just looking at Chris makes me feel kind of ooh.
Christ.
Yeah, speaking of earlier, before we hit record, Chris was combing his gentlemanly beard.
Yeah, I was.
And go ahead if you want to go.
I was going to say I'm going to pull my comb. Go ahead, continue.
And I made the point that I read, I think the CDC or someone had recently published that men should actually shave their beards now because bacteria and viruses, and the more you touch your face, it's likely to stay within your beard.
Which means that Santa Claus, I guess, should shave his beard.
Dude, he's isolated. He doesn't have anybody visiting him. With the
continues to go on for a few more months.
Jack, there are 0 reported cases of the North Pole.
Yeah.
Well, okay, wait.
It's true.
You got Christmas coming around.
Get a little while. Yeah.
Say how bad this could be, and it goes to Christmas. You got all those Santa Clauses working all the malls.
Wow.
Think about it. These Santa Claus, though, he visits like 3/4 of the world in one night.
What do you want for Christmas? I don't want to die.
Jesus.
I think Jack.
I'm kind of pissed about this because this beard's coming in nice.
I would shave
my beard.
As Nick said, it's bad for you.
I think Jack brings up a good point. I mean, okay, so here's a scenario: kids are infected with it, right? Okay, but they're okay. However, they just go around leaving their snotty germs everywhere, and this thing has like a stability where it can exist on things for several days. I was reading 9 days, or I don't know.
Really, is that long?
Yeah, it was a long time in which this stuff can stay there. So then, okay, we have this first round, second round, kids just are just spreading it like wildfire to kill out all of the old people. This is how Logan's Run gets started, man.
No, I'll tell you one better though.
So
Santa, not only is Santa where are all his toys coming from? Okay, when the kid gets down there and they see,
they're coming from
made in China written on those toys. He is spreading the virus. He's 12 monkeys.
Yeah. And not to mention, you know those Santa's helpers, as my mom used to call them. Mm-hmm. Well, I go, well, how can Santa Claus be here and here? Those are Santa's helpers. Now, Santa's helpers, I'm sure when they're working their 2-3 weeks out of the year, how often do they wash their Santa's outfits?
They only get the one?
I'm guessing 0.
I assumed that they just slept in their own urine.
That's probably true. I mean, it is slave labor.
So to say Santa Claus is not an issue, just wrong.
I think they're stuck at a dead end job. Really.
Do we keep Santa in the North Pole?
That's Halloween.
Until this virus is taken care of, and make everyone drink human milk.
Bring it back around.
So as we were talking, Chris went and got a razor, started shaving his beard.
I might shave it. I mean, I didn't even think about that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the logic is flawless.
It's all about reducing your odds, right? That's what I'm looking at.
Well, normally they say that having a beard is good for preventing you from getting sick, because it's going to catch a lot of those things. But the difference with this coronavirus is that it lives longer on surfaces. So I can see how that could be logically, you are full of it. Logically. So that was a compliment.
What do you do after you shave your beard, Chris? Do you put like a nice lotion or some kind of balm on your skin to keep it, moisturized?
Whenever I shave, I shave my neck regularly, so I do shave that all the time. I get this stuff called Mr. Blue, which you can definitely get on Amazon.com.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
And what?
I know, yeah, Mr. Blue. Yeah.
Mr. Blue Sky.
It's awesome. It's actually the stuff that my barbershop uses, and it smells fantastic. So I bought my own.
Why can't they just? Because I hate shaving. Why can't they just come up? Why does it stop why does it stop growing on top of your head and just stop on my face? I don't understand that. What the fuck?
It's a hormone change.
You don't have to draw yourself that way.
It's a hormone change, Jack. You went through menopause.
Man.
I get that, but it's like, okay, it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. It's like
I was shave.
Sometimes I'll go like 2 or 3 days without shaving, then I shave. It's like irritating.
I'll give you an example. Oh, good.
I was gonna say I haven't shaved my face with a razor in probably maybe once in the last 8 years.
Oh.
I typically trim it on the lowest setting and leave some behind. I haven't actually shaved my face, and I think I did it once. I was like, why would I do that?
You like the Miami Vice look.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I do. It's just so much easier. So much easier.
The Don Johnson half. I don't shave for 3 days, and you have I had the jacket.
Here's the other thing too. That people waste money on razors so badly in this country.
It's true.
We've been marketed to death that you have to have these quadruple razor, quattro, or the what's the
jet,
Mach 3, all those. You don't need that shit.
No.
You don't. I actually for my neck and for when I was shaving my face prior to having a job that didn't mind if I looked homeless. I would actually I still have a safety razor, and tried and true. It's the best shave I have ever given myself is with the safety razor. And most people listening to this show may not understand what the hell that is, but prior to these disposable razors coming out, you'd buy a safety razor package, which is you can spend $4 on them and get 10 blades. And it's the old school twist up thing. You drop the blade in. It's like a 2-sided blade, and you twist it down, and then you shave with it. One single blade, just one, lasts me 10 times longer than one of those Mach 3s or the Fusion Quattros, all those things. Those blades, and the reason why you don't hear any marketing of it is because it's so goddamn cheap. And they make so much more money off of the Mach 3 family style of razor, but you don't need it.
And the disposable ones where you're filling up the landfills.
They're exactly those safety razors are the best. You get yourself a nice lather, get some I shave in the shower all the time, and
we know you
and
like
that
to
way,
lather it up. Yeah.
oh yeah, get a nice lather.
Do you also do the beer in the shower as you're
Like Shandy.
shaving?
Like Shandy.
Yeah, shower beers are the best.
Shower
you kidding me?
beers and
Shower
shaving.
beers are the best. There's literally nothing better than a shower in an outdoor, or a beer in an outdoor shower. You guys have heard me say that before, but an indoor shower beer, it's a close second.
I don't know if you guys will find this interesting or not, but it's just kind of stupid shit that I read.
Nope.
Yeah, I know,
Pass.
probably. Yeah.
I'm already bored.
Next.
So, all right, fine. You just never know.
No, go ahead.
What could it have been? Is
So
it
wait, exactly. You're gonna now. It's just gonna be a letdown.
Now the pressure's really on you. Now.
So when I was in Deadwood,
It's a definite letdown.
yeah, when I was in Deadwood, because I like to read all the archaeological stuff. So they had recently found a set of tweezers in the Chinatown part of Deadwood from 130 years ago or whatnot, and they were tweezers. Now tweezers was really more of a Chinese thing than like a European thing. They had two purposes for Chinese: one to smoke opium with, and the other one, because this was more of a grooming set of tweezers than an opium smoking thing, was that Chinese men never shaved their faces. They instead plucked every hair from their face. And that's why like their hair was always more thinner and shiny, because they always regrew from the root. Whereas in European men shave and makes it, more coarse and thicker. I just thought that was interesting. I was like, I did not know that. Yeah. I know that shit would hurt.
I did not know that either. So.
Well, thank you for that.
I knew of all the people that would find it valuable, it would be Matt. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, but fuck that.
Yeah, I have a funny tweezer story. I'm going to bring that up.
You got one of your nose hairs?
I was really hoping to just say that for the bonus.
We have a bonus episode?
Anyway, we've still got like another 20 minutes to go before we get to the bonus.
I can tell this real quick. I was coming back from Vegas, and a friend of mine was in front of me. He's like panicking. He's like sweating. He's like, the whole thing. I go,
warm taffy?
No, it wasn't warm taffy. We actually called him because one time we drove up to Vegas. It was me, him, my mom's husband, and another guy. And someone had a sore throat. He goes, "Oh, I got penicillin." He had a whole. So we called him Dr. Quinn. The whole rest of the Dr. Quinn medicine because he literally had everything in the world. So anyway, this is who this guy was. Good guy, but we're going through the emergency, and he's got the tweezers in his pocket, and he doesn't know he should. He didn't want me to see him because he figured I'd make fun of him, which I did. And he's just like it's like Midnight Express. He's like sweating over these tweezers. I said, yeah, it was my internet was crapping up. I said, what the fuck? Did you think there's going to be a game of emergency breakout and you had your own set of tweezers?
Exactly. Operation.
That's what it was. Operation. He's just like going. So he had to. We were already past the. Past the where you drop everything off. So the guy goes, "Why don't you just put it in the box?" Anyway, it had to be there. It was a funny story. The guy sweating over his.
Thanks for that, Jack.
Well, if you were
perfect.
There, you've been laughing your ass off.
I would be laughing my ass off if your internet didn't just shit out on us.
Well, you're max headroom right now. So.
Tweezers in his bag, and
suck his dick. Then he said, "Suck this." I said, "Okay," and I was like, "Damn, Jack, you're admitting some heavy shit on this show."
Yeah, still doing it. That's what I'm asking.
Jack, what are you doing with tweezers? Your pocket? I got tweezers in my pocket.
I got tweezers in my pocket.
Episode title.
Tweezers in my pocket.
Yeah, because they're gonna get to that and they're like, "What?
Really? This whole fucking thing is for tweezers in my pocket?"
Yeah, I listened to this whole thing for tweezers.
I weep for the future.
I got tweezers. Pocket. I got.
All right. What do you say? Should we have a bonus episode?
Let's do a bonus episode.
Okay, let's do this. So we'll close up the free episode here to everybody that is not at the patron level with things that we say.
Things that make you go,
We We talked about Mr. Blue, also getting some daytime, nighttime,
Daytime.
Nighttime suffering is all.
All the things that you want to get on jandjack.com/Amazon. Check out.
Get them day while they're still there.
Potato bear.
Lobster roll.
Am I?
You sound like shit.
Oh, you know what probably happened? Let's see. Okay.
You're downloading porn.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're constantly downloading porn. Yeah.
No.
Too many windows open.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching porn as you're doing the show. That's sick, Jack.
That's fine.
But rather than have to look at you guys.
Yeah, fair.
On that note,
Gotta have the VPN open up. Damn it, Jack.
all right. So I already talked about the Amazon thing. You can become a patron by going over to jandjack.com/Patreon. I believe that's the affiliate link, or just go to jandjack.com. You can click on the become a patron. We have all different levels.
Fucking easy for you to say.
I'm trying to say it because you're breaking up.
Breaking up is hard to do.
Ending the show is hard to do for me, apparently. But we at this point we'd like to thank some special patrons that make this show possible. I wish I had more time to make up funny names for all of you, but it's always last minute with me.
You had a week.
I did, but I was prepping that whole time for the coronavirus.
There you go.
Tack, I hope you're doing okay in Paris. Eckhart, yeah. They shut down the Louvre, man.
Yeah, Tack, hope you're doing good, man.
I hope
check in
all
with
of
us.
our patrons are doing.
Tack, check in with us. Let us know you're okay.
I mean, your odds of dying in the Louvre are probably greater than dying of coronavirus in the Louvre.
You know what we forgot? We forgot to read the email.
Oh, that's right. We did. Okay.
Yeah, email.
We can another 5 minutes. No worries.
Okay.
That's a good podcast.
What's a quick email?
Well, why don't you finish off the patrons before as we pull the email up?
Okay, that sounds good. That is some good.
That way you don't forget to do it after the email.
You're like smart and shit. You know what I mean? All right, Eckhart, you've been with us through thick and thin. Richter Glatfelter, Maggie, the Magnificent Mandalorian, Ed, the echo of the former creepy letter carrier that you once were. You have a symbol for your name now, just like Prince.
That's right.
Joanne with the master plan, and Drake, the Death Star destroyer. What? And we have one more.
Can I just say, look, Jack looks like he's in witness protection.
He does. I hope he starts up his computer before we go into bonus.
I'm sorry. Hey, we have one more, though. What's that one more? You said one more.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Greg with no nickname yet. But I think we have one already planned for you for the Star Wars show that Owen and Brew's barbecue that we're cooking up for Clone Wars. I know Nick and I are excited to talk about that, and
possibly Chris.
Possibly Chris. Possibly. So I can't tell if Jack is still frozen or
he's just
really happy.
He's really.
Oh yeah. That's good.
And he's alive.
He's just faking it. Funniest thing That's probably the funniest thing Jack's ever done. So for everyone out there who doesn't know, Jack is faking his internet being shitty. So he's just looking at us with his frozen face, and then slowly out of the corner of the screen, a bird comes in.
Oh, he was really frozen there, though.
Well played, Jack. Greg, the yet to be determined nickname. Thank you for joining the ranks of this prestigious elite group here. So
welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so Nick, you have it.
Oh, do you want me to read it? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
so you want to read the email? You do have the.
I don't have it up. You can read it.
Oh, okay. All right. So the email is from Mandy, who is a dedicated Jay and Jack listener. And last week or week before last, we talked about Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the topic. Yes. Hey, guys, the Girl Scout cookie prices are based on your area. For Chris in Boston, cookies are $5 a box. In Middle Tennessee, we have the lowest cookies at $3.50 a box.
What the shit?
Yeah. So that's why another reason why Tennessee is a great state in the union. Other areas are 4 to 6 a box. There are no specials to get free boxes, and if someone is doing that, they are paying for it themselves. Kind of like when I sent Samoas to Chris, I paid for those.
Aww.
And Jack, you can't cook the books. Cookie season is serious business.
Did that really happen?
What? Cook the books?
No, sending Samoas.
She sent you Samoas, I think, last season or something.
That's right. When she did she?
We had the vote.
You've had a lot of vapes since then. We understand.
And a kid.
And a kid.
I mean, that's a life changer thing right there. And
I'll take some more.
I'll pay you. Dude, man, I need some more cookies. I need some cookies, man.
oh man,
His name is Ralph. And Jack, you can't cook the books. Cookie season is serious, busy business. No, busy, yeah. And we, as a troop leaders, go through hell getting cookie money from parents. If you need cookies next year, cheaper than your area, let us know. These two are happy to send you cookies. And there's a big picture. There's a big picture of two nice, lovely little girls with boxes and boxes of cookies.
Oh my God. I want cookies. I will order cookies.
From Tennessee at $3.50 a box.
Paid the goddamn inflation of Massachusetts. I will buy your $3.50 a box. Sign me up. Send me a link. I'll order them.
But he wants the Corona free.
The Corona free.
If you can,
it's true. It's so true because Corona is not in Tennessee yet. So you don't want to buy it from the Massachusetts Girl Scouts.
It's only a matter of time, people.
Yeah.
Where do Girl Scout cookies get made?
It's true.
Which country?
Girl Scout land.
I'm sure they get made in the USA, but it depends on what state.
No, it's like a magical land north of Canada.
Maybe the North Pole.
Next to the North Pole. It's like
Girl Scout cookies are made by ABC Bakers in Richmond, Virginia, and Little Brownie Bakers in Louisville, Kentucky. The bakeries make cookies with the same name, but a slightly different taste.
Huh.
I did not know that. That's good information.
Give me the good stuff, man. I want that Louisville.
So we're buying American cookies. There you go. America.
All right. Well, that's the show. We did it in reverse.
Not breaking up anymore?
Yeah, you're actually back, man.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do a bonus show.
Back in the Corona groove.
We were just saying.
He's actually, is he back as in his internet no longer sucks?
Yeah. You know, you're back and full.
I don't know what goes on. I don't know.
What goes on in your heart? Okay. Well,
you got somebody wheezing your Wi-Fi.
Do what?
Someone's wheezing your Wi-Fi.
Probably.
Bastards.
Jay's out front downloading porn from your Wi-Fi connection. So Colleen doesn't.
What? Colleen knows what I look at. She can see my internet history.
On that note, good night, guys. Great show. One in a tweezer.
One in a
I was trying to say no.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay,
we got it.
Yeah.
Fair.
See ya.